is Antonio Paul? Who is the elusive Antonio Paul?
Who is it? I don't know.
Who is it?
Who is
this
guy?
That's exactly
Can he be
right.
described? Can he be described? Is it the both of your like nemesis sort of joined together in
I
terms
reckon-
of the Antonio
I
Paul?
I don't
or-
know how you guys think of it, but I've always thought about if you two like morphed into one, it would be Antonio Paul.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
what I
like
was thinking.
it's like
I
all
know-
lyrics and
I
like
know it's
guitar and
your
it's like
last name's Antonio.
Middle name.
Middle name.
Yeah.
Okay, middle name Antonio, middle name Paul.
sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well,
That's not what my mum called me, but I like to go by the last
There's a
middle name Paul.
legal
There's
implication.
legal
yeah,
issues.
there's
some legal
There's a document that
that
says
doesn't
it's
exist.
not. But
Okay.
he was born to believe it was until
Yeah,
we
but
created the band, and then
falsified by my
still we like
parents.
got
So
interest
your
and
parents
stuff.
told you your
Yeah,
middle
it was
name
Paul,
was...
and then I was traveling, and I needed a passport, and I wrote down my name's Michael Paul Edwards, but they said your middle name doesn't exist, and I was like, it does. You know, for 18 years, and on my birth certificate, it's not. So
So yeah,
Oh.
this is
Crazy,
like
crazy.
This is like so after we
yeah.
created the band, being like our middle names, and then
So the band's almost more you than it is you
Yeah.
because
Oh, no.
Paul.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so Antonio Paul, there's no.
Yeah.
Do you have an image of this band? Is there a
well,
Antonio Paul?
yeah,
What does Antonio Paul describe?
Because like because we've been in a lot of bands and they had like different names, and like I feel that there's a timeline on a name. Like if
Yeah.
you were called like Elephant Juice, you're
Yeah.
like
I think that's a
so
short lifespan.
yeah,
that
exactly.
one.
Like when you would come out like all this pop, like that's sick, but it's not gonna be like something that
Stays
goes for
for a
ages. So
long
we're like,
period
what's
of
a
time.
timeless? It's like, well, what's more timeless than a name? Like your name sticks with you for your life. So we're like yes, and because like we go through like different like stages in our music. Like we'll be like super pop, but then we're like acoustic when we first started. So like we didn't really have a style, so we
style.
couldn't put a name to that. So like, well, why don't we just put like a timeless like an Antonio Paul that can be whatever we want it to be for the
Yeah.
rest of however long.
It is. You don't know. Like, I
Yeah.
remember I heard of Antonio Paul, and I was like, I
could
kind
be-
of had a more rock. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought
So it could be
rock, and
anything,
then I
yeah.
heard you guys, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
different
That
to what I
sucks.
thought.
Yeah, 'cause
No, that's not what I thought at all.
like some
wanna
blogs that we have.
What?
There's been some blogs that we have, and people think it's just one person like
Yeah.
that does this all.
I kind of like the mystery behind the name.
Yeah.
Like, but at the start, I was like,
Sorry,
keep it
I've
up
given it
now.
up.
But then-
I've
but
given
then-
it up now.
But I kind of like people
Yeah.
like, what is Antonio Paul? You,
Someone the
Antonio
other
Paul,
day
you,
said they thought
Antonio
it was
Paul.
an Aussie hip hopper. Just
Yeah.
one dude. I was like, okay.
We're originally.
I'd love to see them at the concert.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like standing there like this.
So-
What?
Cheers.
I get myself
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nah, so what was it?
So
Like,
you're going across in the. Are you going to stick? Most of the stuff I've heard from you guys is quite pop. What I would describe as pop. I don't like to describe bands' genres. I think there's many genres, but do you have a direction almost? Where do you want to go
I
with
think
that?
the live shows, it's still pop, but it's a lot more ballsy.
Yeah,
And I think that was the idea behind doing the recording that we've done recently.
yeah.
To sort of capture what it would be like live rather than the garage recordings.
because
which
Yeah.
have
our
been
last
more
last
pop.
EP was done like last year when we were like teenagers still.
Oh,
Like got
okay.
like City Dreams was like played on Triple J and that, and it's like we like it. We love
Yeah.
playing it and that. But then obviously like we've grown up as people, like
As
hitting
you
our
grow, your music
20s.
grows
And,
with you,
so
yeah.
we're like, well,
Just want like
Just
a
need to-
mature sound base.
And then
Yeah,
like because
more
when we first
matured.
started, it was just me and Mike, and we created
Yeah.
all this music. Now we're like, oh, we
Well,
have a
how
live
did you
show.
guys come on to the band? Like, how did you guys all collaborate and decide to be more than
Groove
just
in
you
the
and?
mood.
Oh,
Jordan's gonna
No,
do it.
Jordan, not Jordan.
We
but,
were playing.
hang on a minute.
What was that? We just recorded the Treasure EP, and
Yeah.
then we
Like,
were
'cause we
we
love
were just
music.
playing.
Yeah.
And then we needed a third person, and then we wanted a friend as well as a person who plays music, and so we
Someone
asked
to hang
Jordan
out
to
with.
play.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
so we didn't have a drummer at that point, and then
Used
Jordan
an
had
iPhone.
met Sam prior to us meeting Sam.
Yeah.
And then so we
Bloody top blokes. Yeah.
so we just, it was kind
Played for a
of
few local bands around.
it was
the-
kind of like we were all sort of the same circles, and then when we got the Groove in the Mood on our spot, and then Sam just contacted us and said, if you need a drummer, give us a yell. And so he's stuck with us
So
ever
this is-
since.
We're feeling good with this sort of mix.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
guys work well
Well,
together.
I remember
Yeah,
when I
surprisingly well.
didn't know the guys, but I heard of them, so I looked at their tunes. I was like, this could be pretty cool with some
Yeah.
rockier drums. So and I heard they were doing Groove in the Mood. So I
Sam,
thought,
Sam
why
didn't
not?
like our music when he first
Yeah.
said it. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
Fire Festival.
Apparently he likes it now, so that's okay.
Now
Yeah.
he likes it. Okay. So
But-
do you kind of come with ideas? Like, all of you sort of like, this is sort of what I want to play. Like, how do you go
Yeah.
about your songwriting?
Yeah, well,
Pretty
like,
much.
so that was before, like, me and Michael come up.
Yeah.
Now, like, it's kind of a group collective. Like, me and Michael recorded a demo of the Sweet Wine song, and then it was kind of like the whole like drum.
It kind of
beats and
starts
that.
in like
And then
levels,
and then
pretty much.
Sam was like, "Look, it would be sweet if it had like real drums." And
Yeah.
then Sam put it in, and like it's just been kind of.
It's
a
usually
There it
like
goes.
like we'll start at my house. Like
I think
I like the guitar, and then I'll
It
show
all
Mark.
happens there.
It
That's the
always-
headquarters.
Yeah,
the
so we
Antonio Hall.
usually starts with the guitar, like the guitar and just a really standard drum track, and I'll show it to Mark, and he's like, "Yeah, this will be cool." And then we'll go
bass
to the
line,
practice,
melody, and
go to the practice, and then we'll be like, "Sam, what's your interpretation on
Yeah.
the drums?" So like it does start at there, but it just builds up to what it is basically.
I think
Yeah.
like we're pretty we're like just want to like keep it like me and Michael, but then now like it's like we're happy to be like
To extend
everyone-
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Become
Because
more
then you get
collective.
more,
Yeah.
you get the different influences, and that's
You know it.
that's what, yeah.